welcome to the lobby, GameSpot's weekly hangout every week at 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on GameSpot.com. On today's show, we have Diablo III, Reaper of Souls on PC. We have Zelda on the Oculus Rift. We've got inFamous Second Son on the PS4, plus your chance to win a copy of the game right here live on the internet right now in the next hour. Plus, new release with Mary Kish, random questions with Peter Molyneux, and much, much more. I'm your host, Danny O'Dwyer, delighted to be joined, as ever, by my partner in crime, Chris Waters. And today, we are super happy to be joined by not only senior Escapegoat correspondent Maxwell McGee.
Yeah, that would be me.
But the creator of Escapegoat and Escapegoat 2, Mr. Ian Stalker. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Way to release a game a week after GDC. I bet you've had plenty of sleep this past week.
Yeah, last night I got 8 hours of sleep.
Did you?
It was amazing.
Which I imagine was like a first for you in like the last week, 2 weeks, maybe a month?
Probably a month, yeah.
It was just pushed to internet and then my work here is done.
In some ways it's just starting too. Like my email inbox is different now than it was yesterday.
Maxwell McGee, you're going to be playing Escapegoat 2 for us. Let's jump right on in here.
As senior GOAT editor, I feel it is my sacred duty
to
show off a little bit of Escapegoat.
You showed Escapegoat off on GameSpot for the first time on It Came From Xbox Live,
Yeah, a show I used to do called It Came From Xbox Live, where we highlighted weird and quirky Xbox Live indie games. And actually the original Scapegoat, along with the hilarious and terrible No Luca No, were the two sort of, were the impetus, as it were, for that show. No Luca No, of course, being a game where you push a cat away from a bowl of cereal.
Guess what the cat's name is?
Is it Luca?
Is it Luca?
It's Luca.
It's totally Luca.
I didn't realize
is there a
the
sequel for No Luca No coming out anytime soon?
I think there was, yeah. I didn't realize Escapegoat was one of the ones that launched X-Plague, though.
Oh, yeah,
that show was super fun.
Well, No Luca No was sort of the joke game that we thought, oh, we should totally ridicule this game in public because, oh, wouldn't that be funny? Escapegoat was the, this is actually really good, and it's on Xbox Live Indies, so that means nobody can find it because the service is buried within like 16 different menus.
Yeah. So Ian, you've been developing games, you've been working on games in terms of audio and other stuff, and you've developed, this will be your, is it your fourth independent game you've made on yourself? For a while there, Xbox Live Indies looked like it was a place for students to just put up kind of just random projects they worked on. I certainly had a bunch of friends who did that. What was it? Why did you put Escapegoat up there, and then were you surprised by the sort of the reaction that came from it?
So Escapegoat was never chartered to be like a commercial success. It was never designed, there was no design document, there was no business plan. It wasn't even designed to be a goat game from the start. So it wasn't like I set out to, like, how do I make money with this game, with goats, with games. So bringing it to X-Plague was just like, well, it's made in XNA, it runs, it's super easy to get a game up there, and you know, I had done 2 games already for X-Plague, so just, yeah, why not do a third one?
So I was going to say, who was the original hero then for Escapegoat if it was not the purple goat we have all come to know and love?
Placeholder sprites.
Oh no, I hate that character. He's the worst.
He's in everything.
He's in everything.
For a while there, I figured that you were some developer sitting at home. This is when I first saw Escapegoat 1, and you had some sort of maybe alcohol-induced fever dream where you came up with the title and then had to backwards program a video game just so you could have that as the title of the game.
That's a way better story. Can I use that one?
Yeah, sure, you can go for that. So for fans of Escapegoat, or for those who have never played the game ever before, can you just kind of explain what it is?
Okay, well, I mean, watching it is way better than any sort of explanation because, yeah, basically it's a puzzle platformer. You play as a goat, and you have to escape each room. At this point, Maxwell has just obtained the signature, I don't know, gimmick of the game, which is your magical mouse friend. He's this immortal, familiar kind of thing who can get to places you can't get to in the room by crawling up walls and ceilings. And you can fit through tiny little places like this.
Right here I can't. My goat is much too big to fit within this tiny space.
I hate when that happens.
But if I can use my little mouse friend, he can go in there and hit the button for me.
So it's a game of teamwork.
And totally abandoning your mouse friend on the other side of the screen.
Look, he's figuring it out. He's a champion. We're buddies.
Taking his time. This launched on Steam for PC, Mac, and Linux just yesterday, is that right?
Yeah.
I also believe that Tim Schafer was pretty instrumental in developing this game. I believe this is Tim Schafer's Escapegoat.
Yes, you heard correctly.
You guys put out a pretty good trailer with the guys in Double Fine, and they've gone and published this game for you. Something that kind of happened pretty last minute?
That would be the very last minute, yeah. I mean, it was during GDC.
So last week?
Yeah, last week. And my original plan was not to talk to anyone about publishing until after the PC game was totally out there.
Yes.
Because, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of self-publish on PC, and then as I bring this to consoles, maybe talk to publishers. But if Double Fine expresses interest in publishing your game, maybe you rethink your original plan.
Did they contact you, or was it a happening drunken meeting at a party at GDC or something that this came about?
I don't remember how much alcohol was involved in the original meeting, but no, we, some other indies and I loaned space from Double Fine down the hall from them.
Of course,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
Omega Jam, and so we kind of just were. It was through proximity that they, saw the games we were working on, and this was, pretty much in its final stages during that month.
One of the things that jumps out for me is that this game looks noticeably more attractive than the first game.
Yeah.
This is the first game you've collaborated with someone else on?
It is. So Randy O'Connor did 100% of the art, backgrounds, animations, color designs, everything like that. And we also have a custom lighting engine, which was written by Caitlin Gadd for this game. And it's been open sourced, actually, which is pretty cool. So if anyone is inspired by the lighting in this and wants to use it, it's out there.
Was that the graphics dude for some Tiger style games?
So yeah, Randy did art for Waking Mars, and
a fantastic looking game in its own right as well.
Yeah, and we just happened to be office mates at the time, and I pretty much just turned 90 degrees from my office chair and said, like, Randy, do you want to make some art for a sequel to Scapegoat? And I think we just kind of agreed to do that on the spot.
God, making indie games is so simple. You just turn your chair around, someone publishes your game, makes all your art. Like, you just add
Tim Schafer to publish it for you. Bada bing, bada boom.
You just add the goat in the last minute. It's just like simple. Max, you have played a hell of a bunch of Scapegoat over the past couple of years.
I believe I played one metric hella bunch.
Scapegoat.
Measuring it out in hella units.
What do you think is the big sort of difference between this and the first game?
Oh goodness. I mean, obviously the thing that's going to jump out immediately to everybody is just what you were talking about with all the upgrades to the visual fidelity, and I think as we're about to see here, some more clever uses of the fireball spitting Grim Reaper enemy who, oh yep, there he goes, killed me plenty of times in the previous game.
That's pretty nasty.
They are nasty, but they're also a utility. Like,
yeah,
pretty much everything in the game is both a hazard and a utility, depending on where it is.
Yeah, that's something I noticed playing through these initial stages here is, getting like extra mileage, as it were, out of your enemies, and not just having them be obstacles or hazards, but also having them work into solving the puzzles, which is a very interesting and efficient design.
Yeah, and that's kind of an interesting sort of way to compound your puzzle, but does it make it a little more complicated that you aren't just bringing in these sort of one-off things, but you want each element to have multiple applications and multiple uses?
I think it actually made it simpler to make puzzles where every ingredient has like 2 or more things it can do. So I could just say this puzzle is going to feature, I don't know, 1 Reaper and the wood. As you can see, the fire propagates to adjacent wood blocks.
Which I don't believe it did in the previous.
Yeah, that's a brand new thing, and that's everyone's favorite animation. Is the
fire
flame
propagation.
It's pretty great.
Oh man, can I get the key in time?
You can do it.
I gotta get back. Oh, look at that.
Plenty of
and
time.
a bit of time. There we go.
Questions from the GameSpot chat here. XI2 Wicked asks, will Scapegoat 2 be released on Xbox One?
I hope so. I'd love to bring this to
Next
consoles.
gen.
You're hoping to, surely with Double Fine involved, and you're essentially already publishing it on Steam on your own right, that, they got to pull their weight here and get it on some other platforms. What platforms would you like to see Scapegoat 2 on?
The consoles, all 3 of the next gen consoles would be magnificent. I think it is a great console game. Works great on PC as well, but being on the couch with the controller is my personal, preferred way to play it.
And I know if Tom McShay were here, he would say as well that a Vita version would be pretty great. In fact, he is here. Hi, Tom.
I know. Say, if only Tom could somehow send us a message, a sign, if you will.
Perhaps
by waving to us from backstage.
This game looks like something right for mobile as well, for handheld.
Yeah, the Vita thing is, I was actually surprised to see the number of people. That was the #1 requested port yesterday, at least on Twitter, when the game got a lot of attention for launch, was Vita. So I guess we should start thinking about Vita.
All right, now let me think here. How did I
Think,
do?
Max.
Oh, I've got to get
Think,
the...
Max.
I remember. Let me...
You're a goat.
Okay.
Think.
I've got to get the guy to shoot the thing at the thing. Okay, come here.
Oh, I want to ask you a question. What do you think about the fact that goats have now almost become their own mini genre? Like, you were out there blazing the trail.
That's true. You were involved in goat tech before it was called... Oh,
wow.
No, why did I do that?
In
the
decades to
critical
come,
error.
when people
Oh, no.
talk about the history of the goat genre, they won't be talking about, the Goat Simulator.
They'll say Ian was there.
2028s
At the
of the
beginning.
world. They'll be talking about how you started off. What do you think about Goat Simulator and the how you've birthed this new genre within video games?
Well, I wish that
It's all
Armin
your fault.
would credit me for coming up with Goat Simulator, but I think that was an entirely his own thing. I don't know. I'm excited. I think like a couple more Goat games, and we could get our own tab on Steam.
Oh, there you go.
Start doing bundles.
Humble Goat Bundle.
Yes.
It's like Goat Con. It's like, take that, PAX. We got Goat Con across the river. I like it. To be continued, folks, and it all started here on the lobby. We're going to wrap it up right there. Ian, thank you so much for coming. I'd shake your hand, but I'm pretty sick, so let's go for Air 5. Bam! Indie games, a bunch of indie games happened last week as well on the show, and of course GDC Awards and the Indie Game Festival Awards were on last week. I was behind the stage hassling people as they won their awards, and we're going to check out some of the highlights from that awards show. We're here with Lucas Pope. You have won excellence in design, excellence in narrative, and now the coveted Seamus McNally Grand Prize right here at the IGF. What's it feel like?
I feel like passing out. I can't even focus. It's amazing. It's a dream come true. Absolutely.
Nathan VELA, CAPYBARA Games, host of the IGF Awards. I want to give you your coveted prize for best host of the IGF.
This is the best present of all time.
You know, there's actually a bunch more awards just like that are out there.
I will be winning all of these awards tonight.
You're like clutching it like a child. Like just don't take it away from
Don't
me.
want someone to take it away, or
You can tell by the way I dress. I was totally not expecting to win. So it's a huge honor just to be in the same category as these other games that we're huge fans of.
Kerbal Space Program is the game it is because of the community, because of you guys out there.
You get paid to do this. We make video games for a living. It's amazing.
But Gone Home isn't even a video game. How does it win awards?
I don't know. It got here somehow.
Thanks to everyone who bought the game. Really, we really love you.
like I love you personally so much.
GDC Awards are now over, and we have the winners of the Game of the Year. It's Naughty Dog for The Last of Us. Can all of you, on the count of 3, just give your own acceptance speech from the heart? Is it okay?
Go.
All right, so 1, 2, 3.
Thanks a lot. Naughty Dog.
And if you want to watch the IGF or GDC Awards, they are all on demand on GameSpot.com.
All you gotta do is demand them.
You just gotta go to GameSpot and be like, I demand these things.
You don't even have to ask politely.
No. Alexis Gajisa and his team have made a new type of website in which you just scream at your computer. Just try it out. Do it right now. Swear to God it works. Don't mind when people give it out to you for screaming at your PC. Also, did you know you could win copies of inFamous Second Son on the PlayStation Quattro? Greatness awaits, baby. I just always wanted to say that.
Yeah, you did.
If you want to win one of these bad boys, follow GameSpot on Twitter and use the hashtag GSTheLobby or GSLobby, as we like to say. Make sure you're following us as well so we can direct message you if you have won. Speaking of inFamous Second Son, and the easiest transition of all time, Tom McShay.
I am the second son of my family.
The second
there's your
coming
segue.
of inFamous. Tom
Yeah.
McShay, you reviewed the video game for
I
GameSpot.com.
totally love the inFamous.
You do?
Yeah.
Chris Waters is going to play the game while we have a little chit chat. Actually, just while hop into the game for a second. Whereabouts are we in the game, just for context?
Seattle.
No, where in the game are we?
This is Tom's 100% virtuous completion state. So basically, there's no bad guys anywhere except for in this little ring over here where I'm going to go attack them.
So you have smoke powers.
I'm using smoke powers currently. There are a number of powers you unlock throughout the whole game, Tom, and I think I'm gonna just use maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Awesome.
Would you say?
Tom, I read your review.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you very much. I read it on the toilet. It was wonderful. Very entertaining. I just want to ask you, this game, some people have said, you know, it's a little bit, there's the open world game, as we know it, the modern open world game, and then there sort of appears to be this maybe division between what the sandbox game was, say like open world game about 5-6 years ago, and then what we kind of have come to expect from games like GTA and Assassin's Creed. So what was it about Infamous Second Son that like appealed to you in regards to that?
Yeah, so like, Assassin's Creed and GTA are all about like making the most realistic world almost imaginable, right? And it's like either historically accurate or it's talking about more modern society and there's real characters and all this other, you know, serious stuff. So this is a playground. This is not a real city with real people. This is a playground for your amusement, and it feels just like the older sandbox games used to be. And I kind of love that because it just focuses on the action as opposed to, you know, a narrative that may or may not be intriguing, I guess. So a lot of chaos.
Do you find the play-by-play action in Infamous Second Son to be kind of more entertaining than, like, because I'm with you on that, because like when I play GTA 5, I feel like I'm enjoying the world more than I am enjoying the action itself.
Yeah, like I don't think, and GTA 5 is a great game, but I don't think you would hold that up against other shooters.
Yes.
Or you would hold it up against other driving games, because I don't think it really compares with the game that's like built from that. But I think you can actually compare Infamous to any action game on the market. Like, it is just really fast and satisfying and diverse combat. And I absolutely loved playing with all the powers and fighting all the enemies and coming up with tricks. And so I think that's what their focus was, and that's where this game really shines.
A lot of the powers and stuff, they kind of look like applicable maybe to, you know, what we've seen in previous Infamous games. What about the powers like made you so excited about the action in this game?
So the second power you get is Neon.
Neon.
Which Chris is not using. Chris is actually using Concrete now.
I'll go find some Neon. Hold on.
So Neon is basically...
Get back here. Oh.
Yeah, you gotta go to... So Neon is like... Do you remember the Prototype game?
Yes.
So Prototype 1 was kind of clunky.
Did you like Prototype, just for the record, see where we're coming? Did you enjoy Prototype?
Prototype 1 was clunky, Prototype 2 was awesome.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I love Prototype 2. So basically when you have Neon power in this, it's Prototype 3.
Okay.
Because you run straight up buildings like a crazy person. Because like in the original Infamous is all like methodically climbing buildings.
Look at that.
I love. This is ridiculous.
This is great.
And it's super fast, and you do that within combat because you need to move around. You're kind of fragile.
Yep.
So it's just like it's crazy over the top, and it looks gorgeous. I don't know if you've noticed.
It does look great. In fact, what I will say is that when you were playing last week, we were all sort of huddled around your computer for or your TV screen. It looks better on, like, I feel like increasingly it is getting harder to display how good these games look over video, because it looks so much better here than it does in like when they were even showing trailers of that game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because when you're playing it in like the streets, it's raining and the streets there's like puddles forming and you can see the reflection of the neon lights through the rain.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is next gen, I guess.
When you finished this game, were you disappointed it was over? That's always a good sign of if a game.
Well, I mean, when I finished this game on 100% playthrough, I did every single thing you could. I immediately started over on hard expert difficulty for an evil playthrough. And then when I finished that, I was disappointed.
Oh yeah?
Because I just wanted more and more. Like, it's just, this is my favorite open world game since Prototype 2, and I know there's just not a ton of games like this. Like Watch Dogs looks really cool and it's coming out, but it's way different. So like, I don't know when we're gonna get another game like this. I was savoring every second.
If you got any questions for Tom about Infamous Second Son, please by all means put them in the chat and I'll read them out here. I want to ask you a question as well. You wrote a great article about how you should play this game in difficult modes.
Yes.
Explain the sort of reasoning behind that. Like even first time through it?
I would say so, because the first time through it is fun to like experiment with the powers and just learn the story and all that other stuff. But like everyone's kind of a pushover. So by the halfway point, I didn't really fear combat anymore, and I was kind of making my own challenges. Right. And I think I would have been more engaged the first time if I really had to like, because the third power you get in this game, which I don't have to mention, it's fantastic and it's way different, and I didn't use it at all because I didn't really need to use it.
Yeah.
And then the second time through when it was harder, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I just had to put some work into it. So I actually would say the first time through, like, it really pushes you to understand what the game is doing from a combat perspective.
I got a question here from Bidooce.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
GameSpot. What is the main difference between this and previous Infamous games? Do you think there is much of a?
There's the combat feels. So the first Infamous was really methodical, and it was all about like lining up sniper shots and stuff like that. The second one was, I thought, too chaotic for its own good because enemies would like teleport all around you, and then the screen would go black and white, and I couldn't tell what was going on, and it was kind of frustrating for me. And this one is like right in between, where it's super chaotic, but I still knew exactly what was going on at all times. So it's like the best of both worlds. And plus, the powers are way different.
Chris, you've been playing Infamous a little bit.
Not a
just
not a whole lot, as you may have noticed, but
I love making you do this. I don't want to do it. I look like a fool.
Oh, my head.
Talking and playing, talking. We're having a chat. We're having a chin wag.
Yes, be cool. Be cool.
If I were to play, I'd look like a fool. So that's why I made Chris play.
So I've just been playing, and I've only got the smoke powers unlocked, of course, because it's still very early going. But even, it's just like, it has that, I feel like the thing that I've always loved about the Infamous series is that like lightning smooth motion. And just the way that you can traverse around the city. The whole smoke power thing of just like jetting into one of these like vents in the side of the building.
Do it.
No, I can't do it as Neon. I can only do this thing, which is wicked cool.
I can only run up the side.
I can only run up the side of any building I ever want. Tom, I feel like I'm maybe not using like my powers to their fullest advantage. What's a good move I should do? I mean, my
so one of my favorite things to do is when you hurt guys a little bit, you hit is it L1? And that's like your that thing. But
that's
these guys
probably lightsaber. Melee that guy.
I know that guy's built of rock or something. I guess concrete.
He's made of concrete.
This is like a really complex version of rock paper scissors, where it's like laser sword beats rock man, but neon power beats fire.
Yeah, basically.
Is that true?
But you can easily like dodge in and out of combat, and I think Tom was sort of saying like, talking about how what it's like. It's different to play on expert, and so I think. Like going toe-to-toe with a bunch of these concrete dudes obviously is not like a super awesome idea for me to do, but like dodging in and out.
There you go. Like, so you've got that guy suspended in the air, and then if you shoot him.
Oh, looks like I stole some concrete powers. Sorry.
Oh, you did. You stole concrete powers.
I'm not shooting anybody right now.
This game looks great.
I'm gonna run around like
you're the thing.
The thing that's so crazy about this is in like what 6 years or a year?
Yeah.
6 months or a year, we're gonna look back and be like, yeah, that looked good.
Yeah.
Because like all of a sudden you're gonna get whatever Naughty Dog's making and whatever Sony Santa Monica, and all of a sudden this game is because it's an early PS4 game.
Yeah.
Like we remember early PS3 games.
Especially open world games. Like when you look back at like Infamous 1 now, and even that looked like amazing.
Yeah. Well, Infamous 1 versus Infamous 2, and it's like, well, that's night and day. And so I can't wait until this looks like junk. Like this is what I'm looking forward to in life.
And do you think this is fair to say that this is the best first-party game available on the PlayStation 4? Are you a big fan of the Kills one, Shadowfall?
Well, what about does Resogun
doesn't count.
Does not count.
That's rad, and it's an arcadey type game.
It doesn't. So I can't actually. Then yes. Yes, I mean this is my second favorite, or this is my favorite game on the platform, I guess.
Yeah.
Because and then Tomb Raider would be number 2.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is one of those things. If you bought a PS4 early, like
you kind of have to get this.
You have to get this because it's super fun, and it like shows why you spent $400 before you might not have had to.
It might not have been super easy to tell.
The thing that's crazy about this is this game looks better than Tomb Raider, even though it's an open world. Because Tomb Raider looks absolutely gorgeous, but it's a confined world. So I cannot wait for the future of this system.
How does his hair look? Does he ever take off his beanie?
He never takes off his stupid
So there's no
beanie.
Tress effects?
There's no Tress effects, no.
So maybe that's what's slowing Tomb Raider down this whole time. It could have looked twice as good. I'm getting super into replaying games now because I had Ground Zeroes.
Shoot the feet.
Oh yeah. Explain this concept, because I love that.
So if you're playing as a good guy, you can't kill people. Like it's.
Well, you can.
You can. But so you got that like on the upper left is like your super move.
Yes.
So each kill like builds up part of that, and then you have a super move to unleash. But if you kill a citizen or you kill someone you're fighting here, instead of subduing them while you lose all of your power, and it starts and it resets, and like that forces you to play completely different.
Yeah.
Because as a good guy, you have to be precise and shoot them in the feet, and as a bad guy, I threw rockets like an. I was going to say the A word and then the H word.
Like an ass.
Anarchist?
Yes, like an anarchist.
Hole. Like an anarchist hole.
Philly Warrior on the GameSpot comments ask, how long is the campaign in Infamous Second Son?
I think it took me about 16 hours the first time.
Oh, really?
about 16 to 20 the first time through.
You 100% it though the first time, did you?
And yeah, and it's a little shorter. So it's shorter than the other inFamous, which I was sad
I'll
to
save
see.
you.
I'm super into replaying games at the moment because I'm playing a bunch of Ground Zeroes. And all you can really do with that game is replay it. inFamous Second Son, obviously there's no multiplayer component to this game. Apart from playing it on hard mode, is there any other way to increase the longevity of this game?
I've actually been able to play through blindfolded, and I'm better than Chris Waters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Embarrassing. I don't like it when he talks about it.
Okay, so one thing that's really amazing that Sucker Punch has done is there's something called Paper Trail.
Okay.
And it's I think it's 15 missions. Extra missions that are both what you'd expect to find in a game, where it's like chase and escort or whatever like that kind of stuff, and then like stuff on the web as well. And they're going to release that over the next few weeks.
Oh, so is that
and
like
it's 5 extra hours of content for $0?
Is this
€0 and zero yen?
Really?
0 monies.
Free DLC?
Yeah.
Sucker Punch.
And it's
are
there
doing
right there. You
solid.
can play the first mission right now, and then there's just going to be more mission. I mean, it was a similar thing with what they did with Halo 4.
Right, yeah.
With the so what they did with Halo 4, you're talking about Spartan Ops.
Yes.
That was sort of like raid mission, like a multiplayer. They were on multiplayer map type environments, but they were quick like raid missions.
And then they further the narrative.
Yeah, and so are these Paper Trail things are connected narratively.
It is a side story that tells you more about the DUP, the government.
The dopes, rather.
The dupes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill these drug dealers in the park, but this.
You have your super move.
Yeah. So what do I do to do the super move? I've never done one of these before.
You hit down on the D-pad.
All right. Hey, subdue.
You just murder him with neon.
Just hit down on the D-pad right now.
I want to hit a lot of drug dealers. Though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, stop dealing drugs in the park. It's a safe place for children to be.
So what you do is you like put all of the people who are nearby into stasis bubbles, and then you mess them up. And the whole screen does stuff that would have killed the PS3.
Drug bust.
And you busted the drugs. And they had that drug box, which is it's like up there. Like,
Yeah, this is their drug box.
Yeah, because drug dealers always keep the drugs in a drug box.
And a drug
You gotta keep it in a
box.
cooler, man.
I love the drug box. And it's got a dolphin on it, and it's like, I guess you want to go ride the dolphin?
Sure, that makes sense.
So
Do you imagine how much better San Francisco would be if there was someone who was magically arresting masses of drug dealers in
Oh
the
my
parks?
god. I also love how you trap them on the ground with neon, which is just like a dumb gas.
Don't you pull it from that dunk?
It's not even a good gas. It's
Atomic Shea, dropping knowledge on the periodic table, baby.
not even a noble
Talking
gas.
smack about the gas.
I mean, it's got like 10, an atomic weight of 10. So like, oh, good job.
Is this accurate?
Yeah.
What did you do in university?
I'm an English major.
It's all right, I don't know.
I did Google that before I wrote my review. Right. You know what the atomic mass of neon was.
Don't you pull your neon powers from like the bottom of people's car, the guys who've like tricked out their cars?
You can.
This is kind of why I like inFamous Second Son.
So the reason why this game isn't accurate though is when I was in Seattle like 2 weeks ago for the first time, everybody drove a Prius.
Oh, really?
This game does
not have enough Priuses.
Every parking lot has at least 10% Priuses. Every single one. It's hilarious.
The real Hades, who uses the number 3 as the E in the, just so in case it's another the
Thank
real
you for
Hades.
clarifying that,
Thank
Danny.
you. Will there be more web missions and DLC in the future? Do you know post this Paper Trails?
I mean,
thing?
After Paper Trails.
Yeah, after that, will they?
I
do
hope
more?
so. Actually, Sucker Punch said they're gonna have a new power.
Oh wow!
So there's 4 powers right now, and they've strongly, and also this game like details other powers, including paper. Which
This is becoming. This is like Captain Planet
There's like
now.
there's organic stuff with like plants, and then there's like I don't know, the glass.
Sure.
And there's paper, because they talked about they're experimenting with these other ones, and they like concrete the most.
All of these sound like street names for drugs. Glass, paper, neon.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Dolphin for sure.
Is there a subtext to what's happening in inFamous Second Son?
Also, this takes place in Seattle.
Why
Just throwing that out there.
Why is this guy a red icon? Is it just so I can like come hang out with him and
You
jam
can
out?
do evil things to him.
Can you assault him, please?
Like, please don't do music anymore. Get out.
Street musician assault. I don't know if that's an assault if you kill him.
I killed him.
Yeah.
Why does it come up street
Why does it
musician
say
assaulted?
murdered?
Because that is like a side mission you can do if you're
Assault all the street musicians
Yeah.
in Seattle?
So
What?
if you're a good guy, you bust drugs. If you're a bad guy, you assault street musicians, which is amazing. And you know, because the studio Sucker Punch is from Next door to Seattle. What's it called?
Portland.
Kirkwood, Bellingham,
It's
Bellevue.
Bellevue.
All right.
Or
You know that they
Kirkland.
go into
Kirkland.
Seattle and they hate the street musicians, so they put that in the game. You know that's what happens.
All right. Tom McShay, you have single-handedly gotten me interested in infamous Second
That's all
Son
it took.
all over again. Thank you very
Take
much
this,
for
drugs.
joining us.
In the sequel, I want a drum circle that I can disrupt. That's all I want.
Chris, you can stop playing Second Son now.
I'm beating up drugs, Danny. It's for the children.
He's the worst. He's the worst person in the world. He's the worst. Senior drugs assaulter and street musician assaulter. Tom McShay, thank you very much. Air 5, I don't want to get in touch. Bam! Did you also know, guys, that there are some new video games coming out this week?
But that just happened last week, Danny. That can't be
I know.
true.
Second Son came out on a Friday.
I can't believe we do this every
Wasn't that
week.
really weird?
It's so good.
I wonder if it's Mary Kish's birthday again this week. What's going on, Mary?
Hey, Danny. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Mary?
Hey, Tom. Can you believe birthdays are only once a year?
No.
I feel like it's not super fair, but I'm really glad that my background's going to stay the way it is because it's got a mystery goat in it. A nice, lovable goat. Goats are so hot right now.
It is
I
a
love
goat
it.
week.
Everybody wants goats right now.
It is
Goatsy.
Goats. Please don't.
I want to see more
That's
goats.
what happens every
I
time
want a
Danny sees a
goatsy.
goat.
I'm
It's
going to keep
really,
my background G-rated. There'll be no
Yeah.
goatsy.
There's a goatsy. I see a goat.
Stop it. Oh, Mary, tell us about a game.
Goats.
Goats
Yay.
are hot
saying.
and also death, so maybe we should check out some Diablo. All
right.
You get Reaper of Souls this week.
Ooh.
Where you
Everyone is
fight
super excited
death.
about it.
Everyone is excited about it, especially Eric Tay, who hasn't been sleeping for the last 24 hours and will be playing it live on air and not too long from now. And he's so sleepy, so it'll be really fun to watch him.
He skipped down on his rent. He's only using this as an excuse.
He'll never get
He's going to
there.
be so coherent.
We also get The Witch and the 100 Knights. It's coming on the PS3. You're it's an interesting game. It's a JRPG, and you kind of play like a witch, and you're covering everything in swampland, and you run on gigacalories.
Nice.
Sounds like eco-terrorism.
Eat a lot. It's a good excuse to eat. Get all your cows.
Is this Three Kings, the video game that just came on?
Mercenary Kings. It's kind of like Metal Slug.
Starring George.
But we're moving on because there's no time.
So many games.
There's so many games.
Say it.
Say it.
You want me to say
it.
this game?
Yeah.
BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Impressive.
It is
Although we
impressive.
do have some
I only
BlazBlue
practiced
folks
it
in the house.
a lot of times. And then goats, all the goats.
What game
Danny,
is
don't
this?
say it. Is this a scapegoat too?
I see a
Can
goat.
Danny
Played it.
control himself?
You can see the goat.
Look, there's a goatsy right there.
No.
He's rolling the goatsy.
No, Danny.
No, Danny, no.
It's
day.
awesome. I got to play this a lot. It's a lot of fun. Really good goat physics.
Next
Really
game.
good goat visuals.
Sorry, Ian.
And then Burial at Sea, episode 2 came out today. So this is definitely worth checking out.
Creepy doll heads.
It seems super creepy. And this is the last. So say goodbye to Booker, say goodbye to Elizabeth.
Say goodbye to irrational video games.
Yeah, and say goodbye to scores like a 5 out of 10 from Kevin Van Ord for the first one.
Heyo.
So this is the last. And then finally, Battlefield 4 came out. It was supposed to for Naval Strike. But PC didn't come out. So they delayed it to today. They waited until today to tell you that it was delayed.
Don't worry, no one plays Battlefield on PC anyways.
I think that they were the only ones who were like, could you just like not have it? I really don't want to have.
We're super
that
content
out,
with all the content we already have.
It's back
we
to my
don't
reign. Let's
we
become a
don't
goat
want
again.
hovercraft.
Goatsy, can we keep changing your background randomly? Like there was a tweet about us as taking somebody on a
We
second
can
ago.
change it all the time.
Don't
as long
rub
as
the goatsy.
Is that one of those goats that gets terrified? Are you like, is it actually paralyzed and cannot resist you honking its nose?
He loves it. Can my background change to what you guys are? What if it was like the screen of you guys?
Can we do that?
I don't
No, because
know.
she'll
Is that
squish our
possible?
heads. No, that's what you want.
It's not my background. Oh God, Danny!
I'm
Make
sorry,
it
whoever
stop.
wins this copy of Infamous
Ah,
Second
the
Son, but I
goat
have to throw it at
manatee.
Danny.
All right, that's it for me.
Thanks, Mary Kish.
All right, thanks a lot. See you guys.
Later, Mary.
Oh.
Jazz hands. I was just doing jazz hands. We're going to be back in a minute with Peter Brown Tech Update, and I'm going to play Zelda on the Oculus while Chris asks some questions because I can't be arsed. But before then, I believe Rob Handlery did a video about the DayZ. So we're going to check that out now. Stay tuned.
DayZ just got a lot more crazy, mainly because these buttheads decided to take steroids. That's right, nothing says March Madness like a bunch of riled up meathead zombies. But hey, don't let this idiot pull you down. There's plenty else to bite into. So, let's dive into DayZ's March Madness patch. Stuffing your face has never been easier. Eat All allows you to down food in one go. Say goodbye to table manners as you inhale the new favorite, Tactical Bacon. And when canned food gets bland, how about some fresh produce? New spawns for peppers and tomatoes add color to your diet. But then there's the Rotten Potato, who could very well be the spawn of Satan. His rotten power can stop you from passing him, and he also doesn't let you pass through doorways. New green and black color variants are also available for the SKS rifle, and now for the first time, attachments for the M4 can now be painted. And of course, brand new weapons like the Sporter 22, CR75 pistol, Amphibia S, which is just another pistol, and the 1911 pistol is available for taking. Map updates bring more police stations and medical centers, as well as a cute, lush little town northeast called Chernaya Polana, which doesn't seem to house any zombies at the moment, so get it while it's hot, because they'll be moving in next update. Speaking of which, zombies. My God. They're faster. They're nimbler. They're smarter. And there's plenty of them. A new zombie respawn mechanic makes things interesting. Every time you kill one, there's another one around the corner, so it's easy to find yourself in a rut. But remember, there's a magical loophole to all of your troubles, and it's called the Rotten Potato, baby. Oh yeah, what now, bitch? Look at that stupid Get out of here, you idiot. No one wants you. Go home, you idiot. These new zombie mechanics are pending, and will most likely be toned down next update. So, hang in there, Survivor. That's all for this patch. Be sure to check out the full video at GameSpot.com.
The power of potatoes.
Are we back yet?
Danny has now...
Thanks, Rob Handlery, for the update. Welcome to the tech update with Peter Brown, who apparently we were going to talk about Oculus Rift and stuff while I play this awesome Zelda game.
Danny, you look so futuristic, bro.
This is the future of video games! But apparently some news happened while we were on air.
Peter literally just walked on set and was like, guys, I'm going to blow your mind in about 5 seconds. And I've been waiting to have my mind blown, Peter.
This is already blowing my mind. I'm not sure if it can get blown anymore.
Okay, it was pretty, well, I guess we expected Sony to announce a headset at one point. That was surprising to me. But what's more shocking is Facebook is buying Oculus.
What? Really?
What?
Facebook just put in a bid. Yeah, Facebook is buying Oculus for $400 million in cash.
Whoa!
1.6 billion in stock options.
Okay.
What? Of Facebook stock options paid to the Oculus team?
Yeah, so roughly $2 billion transaction.
In net assets? Holy
oh man, John Carmack.
Did that just happen?
That just happened like 2 minutes ago.
Why the hell is Facebook buying Oculus?
I have no idea.
John Carmack is about to buy around 12 new spaceships.
You thought Farmville was crazy before?
You thought stalking people was fun in 2D.
Jeez, wow. I don't even know what to think about all this.
That's weird.
But okay, so yeah, that's gonna take me some time to figure out.
Okay.
But so the big updates from GDC last week were definitely VR related.
Yes.
Sony announced Project Morpheus, which is their virtual reality headset. It's got like a really space age, looking design going on. And it's used to play games like what Danny's playing right here. Which
is Zelda going to be out on Project Morpheus?
The Legend of Zelda?
Do Sony have the rights to that? Because I'm pretty sure Oculus do.
Yeah, and then Oculus, I guess Facebook, I don't know what the company's going to be called now. They unveiled their latest edition of the developer kit, Dev Kit 2, and that's got a 1080p screen, which they've had in the past, but the first for a developer kit. It's got positional tracking with LED markers hidden behind some plastic and a camera to track all that. So right now, Danny can turn his head, and you can see where he's turning.
Look, I can see. I can look at my UI by looking up.
Right, yeah.
Just like in Zelda on the NES.
With the new positional tracking system, what you can do is duck. You can do things like bend and look around corners, and that'll all be taken care of in the game. Danny, you just look so cool right now, man.
You look so... I was staring at his crotch a second ago, and never have you looked more elegant than Google.
I wanted to see if Link had a little 8-bit penis, but he apparently doesn't.
He's like a
maybe that's what that is.
Monster.
Is that what that is?
That's a sword?
You sure?
No, I have no idea what you're looking at, Danny. You're in a world of your own.
I really am.
But I think...
Look like Cookie Monster. We need to get him to eat a cookie but not actually swallow any of it. It's the future. VR.
Just think, guys. In 4 to 5 months or a year's time, we'll all look as cool as this.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Eat sword, you friggin' bat.
So clearly VR is.
So it's happening,
man,
and
yeah.
I mean, yeah. So obviously, Sony, Microsoft. Well, Microsoft hasn't had a peep on the VR front really yet, have they?
They mentioned that they've been experimenting with it for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Experimenting with it for a while.
Yeah.
We've got the Oculus, which is now a Facebook situation. But you recently had a debate, sort of back and forth with Mark Walton about sort of the viability of, like, we've seen VR before. There was the Virtual Boy, and then there was other crap that's just sort of like these dead-end, like, gimmicky tech scions of, like, wouldn't it be cool if we had this? It's not actually that cool the way we made it, but this seems to be different.
Yeah, there are a few key reasons why I believe VR is here to stay, and in the short term, it's going to be more successful than some of those devices were, like the Move.
For example?
For example, things like the Move and the Wiimote, those are sort of changing the way that you control a game, but you're still playing on a TV, and you're moving a little bit, but you're essentially playing the old games that you used to, just with different controls, right? For me, VR is totally different. It completely changes the way that you interact with your environment. It's a much bigger shift in your gaming habits, but more importantly now too, compared to the 80s and the 90s when when VR was pretty rudimentary and basic and clunky, had this big hardware, games ran at like 5 frames a second. Now we've got stuff.
Did you say that? You didn't. Sorry. I thought Peter Brand was
over here.
I heard Peter talk, and then I saw the skeleton.
Yeah.
What was a skeleton?
What? Don't touch me when I'm in Zelda land. Don't do that.
But yeah,
so break the connection, and then my mind will be broken forever.
We've lost him.
The dev kits we've got now, or the headsets we've got now, are a lot smaller. They're capable of replicating, movement in the virtual world much better than in the past. And I think people are going to be getting a much better experience at home. And it's going to be fundamentally different than something just like moving your wrist a little bit with a controller.
Yeah, and the stuff that you get excited about this kind of tech for is not the first-person Zelda, because
yes, it is.
That's a neat gimmick, but no, Danny.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, that's cool and that's
Killer
interesting.
app.
But it's going to take many different factors and variables to be resolved before I think VR reaches its potential. And I am very excited for that, and I am patient. My one concern is that too many people are going to come out right away with these VR things and convince the public that, like, this is great, this is VR, and they're going to be like, this is okay. This is not everything I thought it was going to be.
Are you worried that something like Steam machines is going to happen, where there's just such proliferation of hardware that the overall message gets totally lost?
That's what I'm getting at. I think that might be a little bit of an issue, but there are some games out there that really do kind of capture the best
VR shovelware.
Right. So many games are being ported to VR now after they've been developed, right? Yeah. And what's important is take a game like Eve Valkyrie, for example, made by CCP Games. That was designed for VR from the beginning. And there's so many things you have to take into account when designing for VR. Like Zelda was.
Yeah.
Something right now that plays with the technology that we have, such as Eve Valkyrie, where you don't need to account for the rest of your body. You're really sitting in a cockpit, so you're stationary. It's really just your head tracking and your hands on a joystick.
Yeah, it's not like pretend you're on a tennis court and swing your arm. Well, I guess it is kind of like that, because you can mimic that motion in your room.
Well, exactly.
But it's not like, pretend you're walking through a vast dungeon.
Well,
pretend you're in a cockpit. Flying a spaceship, which you would be in this position as well. I mean, you might not have your legs jauntily crossed, but
well, you've never seen me in a spaceship.
No, my legs crossed, I can't tell.
I mean, Danny's moving around with a stick right now on a controller.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, that's essentially saying, like, this is a rudimentary virtual reality experience. I even hesitate to call it that personally. But when things start to account for all those variables, and when you really do feel that sense of immersion, like I've felt in Eve Valkyrie, where I actually anticipate, not G-forces, but the centripetal force, when you pull back on the flight yoke, my brain had been tricked at that point, and I actually, I was believing what I was doing.
Jesus Christ, that scared the bejesus out of
me. And I look forward to more experiences like that.
Yeah, hearing you describe your Eve Valkyrie playtime, I think that's exactly what I want. You want those new experiences, and of course we've played flight sims before. We've had the flight stick sitting at your desk, but the experience of sitting in that cockpit and having some googly-eyed wacko look back at you.
Oh, and you know what? And plus, in the start of that game,
real deal.
It has one of the best moments where you're sitting in this hangar with the sort of red warning lights flashing like you're about to take off. You put on the Rift, you put on your headphones, and you're essentially encased in this little thing like you would a helmet in an aircraft.
Yeah.
And just the whole preparation that's going through your head, like, okay, we're about to blast through this hangar, and you do, and you really just get that sense that you're doing what it is that you're seeing.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I love it, and I can't wait for more stuff like that.
And so now, to reiterate the news that Peter said at the beginning of the segment, Facebook has purchased Oculus for like $2 billion, essentially.
Basically,
and who knows what the hell that means for the product pipeline, for its consumer, reach, and for its development focus. I mean,
I can't wait to talk to those guys.
We're gonna have to meditate on that one for a while, get some interviews, and we'll definitely be back to you folks with some thoughts on that in the coming days.
For upcoming coverage on the world of virtual reality, the future of video games, stay tuned at GameSpot.com. Peter Brennan, thank you very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with Diablo III, Reaper of Souls, but before then, let's check out some of the wonderful original programming right here on GameSpot.com.
Take the lead. Oh, balls, Jesus, McFuck. Oh my God. There I go.
So he's got this little vacuum sphincter down there that's trying to pull me in.
He's a doggy-style action figure that someone knocked over.
Whoa! 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 FIFA 14, the video game none of you asked for.
What's up, buddy? Let's do this!
Oh my God!
We're so fast!
You gotta shoot out!
Wait a minute, I need inspiration.
There you go, take a hit off of that.
Kevin smelled Maxwell's hair in that. I don't know if you could tell that. That was weird.
House of Horrors Paranormal on Monday, Tuesday, multiple players in the lobby. That was on earlier today. Hammerwatch. The VOD version of that will be on the site post-haste.
You can see me cussing Mary out real sternly because she cold murdered me.
Myself and Chris are on the Sean Method tomorrow because Sean is off doing stuff. Randy McCann or Charles Fusion, and I cannot wait for Megabit this week with NHL 94.
Oh, so much cross-checking.
We've also got a bunch of schedule changes for next week in both live and on-demand programming as well. Here we are.
Are we gonna update the
think so.
thing?
Nope. We'll do it later. Hey, Justin Haywell, what's going on?
Good. How are you doing, Danny?
I'm doing wonderful. I love how Peter Brown came on the set and dropped the biggest news ever, thus making your inclusion on the show redundant.
I know. Why am I even here?
Good to see you, Justin. Next up, folks, we're heading to...
Well, the reason I was late is because I was checking out Farmville in virtual reality. It was really cool.
That's a lie.
Can't wait for you to try it out.
You shouldn't say that because you signed the journalist's code.
People will believe you.
Tell us some actual
you have
news.
Power.
So there was a really big, I don't know if you'd call this bombshell, but a really interesting story this morning. There was a graphics panel, graphics processors. They're doing a panel here in San Francisco. NVIDIA revealed the GTX Titan Z. So, I think a lot of us here in the office, we have Titan graphics cards. They're good. They're several $100s. This one is $3,000.
Okay.
No, it isn't.
It is a $3,000 card. It is basically giving you a supercomputer in a compact form that no regular person would ever need. I mean, it costs more than a used car.
Oh my God.
What programs are going to be taking advantage of this?
No program is taking, I mean, there is no game. There's nothing that we would need for something like this. This is purely for guys who are in Pixar and need a portable solution for making a movie at home.
Or hobbyists that enjoy
rendering
purchasing things that depreciate by 50% the minute they take them out of the box.
So, I imagine some people are just going to get a quad SLI setup really quickly with 4 of these, so $12,000. That's reasonable.
No problem.
Yeah, and then crank up Arma 3 to top graphics. All right, that seems insane.
And
$3,000.
roll around on the ground.
You might need with this graphics card for another game that was announced. It was kickstarted, and it was a successful Kickstarter. Bear Simulator 3.
Yes, I saw that.
Bear Simulator 1.
Yeah,
it's the first one. Continuing the trend of awesome goat and other animal themed simulators.
Yeah, I don't know. Goat Simulator's out next week. I was pretty rad that Goat Simulator is coming out. I feel like this is like the web bubble of the early 2000s where we now have this animal simulator bubble. There's too many games coming out. Explain to me why I should play Bear Simulator.
Well, as you can see, you walk around as kind of like a zombie bear, interacting with the world around you. It looks really good. Look at those water physics.
Bears
it is a beautiful world.
Bipedally,
this thing is a Titan.
If you were a bear and you had to walk on 2 arms, that's how you do it.
Ruffled that trout.
You can also go and hibernate.
Okay, great.
And that's how you get your energy back to go kill forest for berries. To
feature list.
You're gonna swamp some butterflies later. Steal honey from bees.
I think on a serious, though, I think that animal simulators are something that could be super awesome for Oculus, for VR. Because listen, like, you're talking about experiencing the world in a different way by encompassing your entire vision and like the way you look at the world and the way you move through the world. I think that would, like, you watch an episode of Planet Earth and like imagine if you could like just live one of those scenes as that animal. That would be dope.
Could you imagine like Wasp Simulator and it's got like the Oculus, but it's got those like 9-eye thing going on? You got to fly around.
Yeah, and you would instantly barf. And regress like 20 years in terms of your actual human functionality, but it would be cool to be a wasp.
So the Kickstarter for this was like 20 grand and it's already released.
Yeah, so no, he's looking for 20 and they've already got 43,000, still 20 days to go. So he's doing pretty good.
How much of an accurate bear simulation do you want, Internet? And now's your time. Just keep funneling him money and we'll see what happens.
I want to eat some garbage out of a trash can.
And the final bit of news, the interesting bit of stuff that came out yesterday is that a lot of stores have been dropping the price on the Xbox One. Not dropping the price, it's still a sale price, but you can get an Xbox One with Titanfall, essentially free, for $450 at Best Buy and Amazon, and now the official Microsoft Store is offering the same deal.
You're kidding.
It's not an official price drop, you have to put it in your cart, and then you see the price go down, but I mean, that's essentially even that Microsoft is also offering the same deal.
Yeah.
And also on the Forza 5 bundle, they're essentially saying this is overpriced and we're going to give you a discount on it.
Wow, it's $110 then off what that would be if you purchased the console and the game
because
separately.
Normally it's $500, normally the game would be $60, so you're getting a game for free. It's technically cheaper than a PS4 at this point with a game.
Because you're getting the game. And it's an awesome game, too. Yes. It's not like some chump game. It's friggin' Titanfall.
Although if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription on your PS4, you get Resogun and some other nice I mean, it's no Titanfall.
That's true.
It's no Titanfall.
Hey, to each their. I mean, those games are each have awesomeness in them.
So if you're on the fence about buying an Xbox One, it appears that now there has never been a better time to purchase an Xbox One.
Literally.
But there might be a better time in the future, so you might want to.
Probably dozens of them.
There's probably going to be a load more better times to purchase Xbox Ones.
Black Friday will probably be pretty good.
Yeah, you should probably wait until November. That's a good call.
What do you probably have other life endeavors to get on with.
You could probably just play Diablo until then. Justin Haywall, thank you very much for joining us on the couch.
I need to get back to Farmville.
Go do it. Just stay there for a second.
Get back to that Facebook story.
Eric Tay is going to be on in a second with Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. But before that, we've got a new trailer dropped today, I believe, for the new Transformers game. Let's check it out. Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark coming soon.
Is that what that game was called?
Sure, that's what it was called. Transformers video game. Eric Tay's here though, wearing possibly the most Diablo stuff anyone's ever had. Diablo mouse mat,
a single
Diablo shirt.
Oh,
and I believe, sir, that you have been playing this game since 9 p.m. yesterday.
Yep, I've been playing till about 5 or 6 a.m. and then I was like, I gotta be on the lobby. So let's get 2 hours of sleep.
You got 2 hours of sleep?
Yep, and then, scoot on over here, help set up. And
I also believe that you're coming to show off the game here, and then you're going home and you've taken the rest of the week off to play Reaper Souls.
Yeah, it's a thing. I took 3 days off.
So it's fair to say that you're a fan of the game. Let's hop straight in here. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat in Twitch on GameSpot or tweet us at GameSpot. I know there's going to be a bunch of questions, so let's just hop straight into it. Eric Tay, there's a bunch of stuff in this expansion pack for Diablo 3. Please, in no specific order, tell us what the hell is in this game.
Okay, so there's obviously a new act. So I'm going to jump into Act 5 right now so you guys can see some of that environment and atmosphere. It's Westmarch. And then on top of that, there is a a new class, the Crusader.
Okay, somewhere between like a warrior and a priest, I hear.
Sort of, yeah. So it's kind of like similar to the Paladin a little bit. They kind of wanted to make something similar. Lore-wise, it's like they were doing something while the Paladins were doing something in Diablo 2. So now you get to meet the Crusaders, and yeah.
You're super on point with the Diablo lore. It's what you love most about the game.
Look, this monk is dropping bells on people. Let's not worry too much about the lore right now.
Okay. But yeah, so on top of that, you know, there's obviously new adventure mode as well that you can unlock once you beat Malthael, which is the new boss in Act 5.
So that's one of the biggest pulls of this, the adventure mode, I'm hearing.
Yep, that is probably the biggest thing. It's kind of their new endgame. And on top of just the bounties, there's Nephilim Rifts as well, which you can open once you do the bounties, which I'll show you guys after I kill some more guys, because that's what we do in Diablo. You just kill a lot of guys and
kill
loot
a lot
stuff.
of guys and get loot. And because of the patch that went live just before Reaper of Souls, you're getting way better loot.
Yep, that's right. I'll showcase some of that stuff to you guys, and also on top of that, now in Reaper of Souls, there's also a new merchant that she, after you save her during the quests in Act 5 here, she actually will help you modify some of that gear to make it even more suitable for your character.
Nice.
So I'll show you guys that too in a little bit.
Like helping complement the skills that you particularly have?
Yeah, so like sometimes, like a lot of people that were playing Diablo 3 originally were like, oh man, if only this weapon had a socket, or if only this weapon had dexterity instead of strength. Well, now you have a means to kind of change the gear you find so that you can cater it to your character. I'm overburdened because, yeah, I'm a
because you got so much loot. So how much of this, as somebody who I played Diablo 3 when it first came out, I wasn't a massive player of the previous games, but I did enjoy it. But it seems like the past year has been like a long narrative of people complaining about what Diablo 3 was. How much of a reaction to those specific demands from the fan base do you think Reaper of Souls is?
They're definitely going in the right direction. They're listening to the community. You know, a lot of it, I think a lot of the sourness came from the auction house, which has also been closed now. And so they're kind of returning to form, kind of, so to speak.
This is more like Diablo 2 than it was when it came out of the box a year ago, right?
Definitely. And on top of that, I believe yesterday they dropped news that in a couple of months they're going to also have ladders, which is a huge thing in Diablo 2.
Yeah, explain the ladders thing, because I hear yourself and Gurk and a bunch of people freaking out that ladders were coming to Diablo 3. What was that? It's like some sort of persistent leaderboard system, or?
Yeah, so basically what happens is when there's a ladder reset or when a new season starts, you have the option to either play your character that goes into like a default league or something like that, default ladder. But then the new ladder basically gives you the ability to start fresh with everyone else, and it's basically kind of like this competition or this race to see who can get to like the max level the fastest. And then also, like, by virtue of that, everyone starts, since everyone is starting at 0. Like it's cool to compete for gear, and then there's also ladder specific gear. So like there's special gear that you can only get via ladder.
I may be wrong, but it sounds like a lot of what's in Reaper of Souls. Maybe Chris, you can kind of agree with me on this, maybe or not. But a lot of this stuff seems to be for people who played a hell of a lot of Diablo, or at least like know the series. Chris, did you play much Diablo 3?
I played through the first act of Diablo 3, and I think that there's kind of a balance, right? Because the patch we mentioned earlier, that makes the base experience and the base loot gathering like much more rich and rewarding for any player. And so I think that like the base casual, like just come in and play a few rounds or a few levels player is going to be rewarded that way. But then you've got this whole like later game and end game like richness that they're putting in with the ladders, with the adventure mode. Forgive me if I said any of that stuff incorrectly.
That makes sense.
My Diablo nomenclature ain't quite on point, but it seems like they're sort of expanding it in both ways.
I mean, definitely. Just even talking with a bunch of our colleagues here in the office, after that patch had dropped, a lot of people have come back and started to play, and there's been a huge response to just all the gear that's been dropping, and kind of, like I said before, like kind of a return to form. And
it's almost like it's a second
hype.
launch at this stage. Like people are talking about Diablo, and in really, I don't know, yeah, like they're pretty hyped up about it. We got a bunch of questions coming in here. Pitta the Great asks on Twitch, did they fix the character builds or does everyone turn into the same thing like before?
Okay, so that is by virtue of the items that you get now.
Yeah.
It definitely has changed how you build your characters. I'll further elaborate in a little bit, but there are more items that drop elemental damage now, and like I'm doing fire damage here, right?
Yeah.
So there's actually gear that caters to that fire damage, and that changes your specs. So there's not going to be so much like, oh, everyone's kind of running the like 1 or 2 cookie cutter specs that everyone's running. It kind of allows the player to choose a little bit depending on what gear they get to drop to kind of diversify the skill sets.
Dude, I can't believe you're going to leave that socketed curry key on of death just lying there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you play for that long, I guess. You kind of just let things go. Also because, like I said, my stash is pretty full.
You are over encumbered, young man.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty good to earn a spot in your stash.
Monkey Robot on GameSpot asks, is it known that Blizzard is bringing this title to Xbox One, PS4, but did they also intend to release this as DLC for the PS3 or 360 versions? How much do you know about this coming to consoles?
So I know for sure, I'm just going to change the mode real quick, but I know for sure that it's coming to PS4 because I played it at BlizzCon. It's interesting because Blizzard treats console and PC slightly different, and it was another interesting realization for me here in the office. It's like Giancarlo loves console version. Bob Jones from the chat, he loves console version, and so like once that comes out, which they haven't done a release date for it, but that since I have played it, and I think it's probably going to be like at E3. I think maybe PAX East too. It's got to be coming soon.
I also hear there's like stuff in this where you can unlock like special cards for Hearthstone, like special decks or stuff.
Yeah, so there's like
Blizzard are just gonna keep like just fishing us in for like all this extra content. I know it.
Just when you thought you were out.
Yeah.
They're definitely synergizing across the board. So here's the new merchant. She allows you to do something fun called transmogrification, which is something that
Say that again. Say that again.
Transmogrify.
Say it fast.
Transmogrify.
There you go. All right.
All right. But it's kind of like the WoW thing where you can change your weapon or armor to something else to aesthetically look cooler or weirder, whatever you want to decide to do.
That's what Calvin and Hobbes used to do inside cardboard boxes.
She also lets you change like a stat on an item. So like I said earlier, there was a lot of complaints of like, oh, if only it had this, or I really wish it had that. Like,
especially before the patch where loot was like good loot was so hard to come by.
Exactly. So like these pants or something, right? Like I don't care about this increased wave of 100 fists. I can see what it can re-roll into, and as long as I have the materials to change, or I mean to craft it, I can get anything from here. So I'll just try it just for funsies.
Do it.
It'll ask you, because once you do it on this one property, you can only change this one property into those properties.
Okay.
So it's just going to choose one of those 7 different things. You can't select which one?
No. You get it randomly rolls 2. So it's like, oh, I got Crippling Wave or Fist of Thunder. It's like, I use Crippling Wave. Sweet. Okay. So I picked that instead. I actually do use Crippling Wave, see?
Crippling Wave sounds like the worst. Like it's just crippling a bunch of people. Just a big wave of crippling.
Good interpretation, Danny.
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible world. Speaking of Bob Jones 1980, Bob Jones 1980 asks, has Eric already beaten death?
I have. I slain him last night.
Yes, Eric Tay is now immortal, as are all of us, thanks to the slaying of death.
It's going to put a massive strain on Earth's resources, but we thank you for your endeavors.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So this is kind of the big deal here. This is adventure mode.
Okay.
It actually allows you to freely move from act to act, which is something you couldn't do before. So here's Act 1, here's Act 2, here's Act 3, Act 4, Act 5, etc. Previously, you could only be in like one act, and then like you're like, okay, I played through that. I either go back and farm like this one area, or I got to go out and choose another act.
And you couldn't go back to one you'd come from at all, could you?
Not without exiting the game.
Right. Yeah.
So. Oh, this one's actually long. Let me show you a shorter one, but
so the sort of idea behind this is that you can, it's almost kind of what it sounds like to me is it kind of sounds like WoW, is in that you go to different areas, get different quests, perform them, and then it does the end game happen the same way? Like, do you eventually just have to level up to the point where you can fight Diablo?
I mean, like fighting Diablo is just part of the game. I think their end game here is something you do after the bounty. So you do bounties, like you said, they're kind of like quest or objective based. Like you can see there, it says enter the Hell Rift level 2 and kill all the enemies. So it's kind of like you do that and then you get rewarded. And then after you do a certain amount of bounties, you're gonna get these Rift Shards, which then allows you to access their current endgame, which is randomly generated dungeons.
What are they called again? Something real dumb.
Nephilim Rifts?
Nephilim Rifts.
Exactly.
How do you, what's it feel like having this massive amount of like dictionary, like vocabulary that is completely useless outside of referring to this video game?
I don't know, Danny, let's talk about soccer.
All right, nicely done.
Shots fired.
Yeah, all right. That was offside, Chris Waters.
I don't get it. Speak English. Wait, no.
How long can you see yourself playing this? I know you're taking the rest of the week off. Are you happy about that? As somebody who like enjoys the series, clearly you've got a mouse mat and a t-shirt. It's not just for show. As somebody who likes them this much, what do you think about this? And what do you think, were you pissed about Diablo 3 when it came out?
So I personally wasn't pissed about Diablo 3 when it came out. I actually had a lot of fun. Now granted, I was a huge fan of Diablo 2, so I understand all the anger that comes with it, but you know, it's all about value proposition, and it's not fair to kind of judge Diablo 3 based solely on Diablo 2 and be like, oh, it's gotta like live up to this exact same thing.
Do you think it was too high a watermark or something?
I think so. Yeah. I think everyone just kind of had something in their mind, and of course it was like 10 years, right? It was like a long time until it came out. So it's like, oh, it has to live up to this or it's no good. But most AAA games nowadays, it's like you pay $60 and you're probably getting maybe 10, 20 hours out of the game. Like Diablo, if you got 30, 40 hours out of the game, I think you got your money's worth. Granted, it's not exactly what you thought it would be, but I personally got more than that, but you know, there were a lot of people that didn't play it as long as I did.
So how much is Reaper of Souls then?
It's $40.
And do you think that this kind of brings it up to the level that Diablo should have been? Like, are you okay with spending $40 and getting this experience, which is perhaps closer to what you would have wanted out of Diablo 3?
Yes, definitely. I think this is more worth it than the original Diablo 3, just because of like the fact that they fixed so many things. It's a lot better. There's a better end game where it's not like you're constantly in this same area farming the same stuff and hoping like, oh, I hope this drops. So after you do a bounty, you get one of these Rift Keystone Fragments. You do 5 of them.
You got 35 of those buggers.
Yeah, so I've been farming a while. So after you get 5, if you do 5 in one area, you get this Horadric Cache, which Tyrael gives to you, and it drops like a bunch of stuff.
Oh, look at all that sweet swag.
So like hopefully you get a legendary, which I haven't, but you also get Keystone Fragments from that. So let me show you guys the end game real quick. I'm just gonna leave that stuff there.
Not the Feather Yeti. Aww.
I know, sorry.
Oh, Feather
What's
Yeti.
that thing?
So this is their end game. You turn in these shards, you turn in 5 of them, and it opens the randomly generated dungeon.
Okay.
So you could be in anywhere, like Act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like an area, but it can have monsters of any act.
Because all the dungeons in all the acts were all randomly generated anyway, right?
Yeah,
Apart
but you
from, like,
would you would fight the same specific monsters. Whereas here, like I'm in well, this is not the best example, but like I am in an Act 1 area, and these would be Act 1 monsters, but we could potentially see, you know, Act 5 monsters here, and then like what is an actually Act 1 area. So,
and what's the benefit to this? Is it loot dropping as well?
Yeah. So basically, there's this bar here that you fill up, and that bar fills up as you kill monsters. There are a lot of elite packs in here, which are those blue champion packs, and they have like a higher chance to give you better loot. And then at the end of the Nephilim Rift, it spawns like a Rift Guardian, which is like the boss for this specific rift that you open.
Cool.
And he drops you a bunch of blood shards, as well as like the chance to get legendaries and other things. It just depends on if you're lucky or not. And then the Rift Shards, which is another form of currency outside of gold, allows you to gamble in town with a certain vendor, and it gives you a small chance of getting legendaries. So there's like multiple ways, like layers to getting items.
There are layers upon layers upon layers upon layers.
But it basically all boils down to kill monsters and get loot.
Yeah.
And in just a bunch of different ways.
Pretty much.
Different pipelines for, you know, different rewards for killing monsters that lead to different pipelines for getting loot. But the start is always kill monsters, and the end is always get loot.
Eric Tay, we are going to let you go home and kill monsters and get loot for the rest of your week. Thank you so much for coming in and showing us.
Hey, remember to hydrate, eat properly.
Yes.
You know, get a little bit of rest.
Get your 5-hour energy.
We want to see you back next week.
Does energy drink count?
No.
No, that's not a real drink.
No,
Eric
that's
Tay, thank you very much for joining us on the show. You, of course, are always in the back helping running this bad boy. Could you do the honors? We've got 3 winners of Infamous Second Son on the PS4. Just to remind folks, we give away stuff on the lobby every single week.
Sure.
All you have to do is follow GameSpot and use hashtags and stuff. And 3 people did that today. Who are the winners, Eric Tay?
All right, winner number 1 is at the Pixel Robot.
Yeah. Pixel Robot. Confirmed.
Winner number 2 is Capt Ben L. Willard.
Congratulations, Captain. And winner number 3.
That's going to be Utter Nonsense G.
Utter Nonsense Wordplay. Congratulations. Nice work. I also want to remind the folks at home that we're still giving away that PS4 and copy of Infamous that we're shouting
A year of PlayStation Plus.
And a year of PlayStation Plus. If you want to win that, go to GameSpot.com/PS4 giveaway and fill in the form there, and that'll be given out. I believe there's only a couple of days left on that, so get in on that. Thank you very much for watching Lobby. Chris Waters, as ever, thank you very much for joining
My pleasure, Danny. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Sean Method.
Yeah, what are we playing?
I don't know.
I know, and neither do I. Can't wait.
It's gonna be weird.
Get out of here. Go down south and play video games, you bum. And the rest of you, have a great weekend. Thanks very much for tuning into the show. Next week, we've got Goat Simulator and God knows what else. But yeah, have a great week. We'll talk to you on the other side. Adios. See ya. Where's my Oculus gone?